Hi there, I'm Sherry Smotherman Short from Painless Blog Analytics. Today I want to talk about a new tool that Google has created specifically for individual content creators like bloggers. It's called Search Console Insights. This experience combines data from both Google Search Console and Google Analytics to give you an overview of how your content is performing. According to Google, some of the questions that might be answered in Insights are: what is my best performing content and which pieces of content are trending? How are my new pieces of content performing? How do people discover my content across the web? What do people search for on Google before they visit my content? And which articles refer users to my website? Search Console Insights can be accessed two ways. The first is by clicking the link at the top of the page in Google Search Console, and the second way is by using either the Google iOS or Android app. If you want to access Search Console Insights through the apps, just tap your profile picture within the Google app. The new tool is being rolled out to users now, so if you don't see it yet, just check again in a few days. Let's take a look at this new tool. We're going to go to the Overview page in Google Search Console, then click on the Search Console Insights link at the top of the page. Right next to your domain name, you'll see a drop-down button. This shows you which other properties you have access to. It will default to the property you were viewing within Search Console. When you first open Search Console Insights, you may get a message at the top that says you have a suboptimal setup because you need to associate your analytics account with your Search Console account. When I first saw this message, I thought, wait, my accounts have been associated forever. What's the problem here? Then I noticed that my domain property was the one showing, not the URL prefix property. Let's jump back to Google Search Console for a quick refresher on what this means. When I look at my Cub Scout Ideas properties, we can see that I have 5. One domain property that doesn't have HTTP, HTTPS, or www, and 4 variations of URLs that have one or both of those. The domain property aggregates the data for all of these individual URLs. I encourage everyone to have their domain property in GSC. Now back to our issue at hand. We need to associate or link our Google Search Console and Google Analytics accounts. First, let's click on the Learn How button, then click the link to the Association Settings page. Click on the Associate button at the top of the page. If you have more than one view set up in Google Analytics, you'll need to select the property that you want to associate. I'm going to make my selection and then click Continue. You may then need to click Associate again. Then we'll be asked to confirm our association. When it's confirmed, we can go back to our Search Console Insights page and refresh. A quick note. When I was testing this, I got error messages a couple of times saying that the Association Settings page couldn't be found. If this happens, just close that tab and try again. Now that we have all the information that's available to us, let's take a look at it. The first thing it's showing us is the all-time page views for our site. That's pretty cool that my Cub Scout Ideas site has had over 7 million page views since I started it. Below that, we have our site overview. This information is for the past 28 days. Right now, we don't have an option to change that. We can see the total number of page views and a daily graph. We can also see the average page view duration. Both of these metrics show whether they're trending up or down. Now, each of these sections on this page has a little mortarboard cap icon in the top right. When you click on that, you'll see some information about the data and some tips on what to look for in the data. The next section talks about our new content, which is defined as content that got its first page views in the last 28 days. I've been updating old posts on Cub Scout Ideas, so I'm not seeing anything here. Let's click over to my Search Console Insights for Painless Blog Analytics. You can see the number of views and the average page view duration for my post about structured data and schema markup. We also have that little mortarboard help icon. let's hop back over to my Cub Scout Ideas Insights. The third box down shows our 15 most popular pieces of content defined as the content with the highest page views over the last 28 days. For each page, we see page views and average duration. We also see the top search queries for that post. For more details, you can click on that post's row. I'll come back to that in just a couple of minutes. Some posts will have this high average duration badge. This is content that Google thinks has a high average duration compared to our site's other pieces of content. The next section has information on how people find our sites. It starts with our top traffic channels. Again, we see page views and average page view duration. Then we see our results in Google search. This shows us our top 50 most searched queries that got clicks. Any query that's in positions 1 through 5 will have this top 5 results badge. Use the left and right arrows to see the next group of queries. We can switch from most searched queries to most trending queries. These are queries that grew the most by clicks over the last 28 days. Next are the top 15 referring links from other websites. You can see what posts they're linking to. Use the drop-down menu to see your newest referring links. From time to time, you'll probably see some strange links like this one from Matillion.com, which provides solutions for data integration and transformation in the cloud. That has nothing to do with Cub Scouts, so I just ignore these. The last section shows us how much traffic we're getting from social media. Now, let's go back and look at page level details. I'm going to click on the first one, my Cub Scout patch placement post. When I click on it, I can see my all-time page views at the top. This has been my #1 post for several years now, so this 25,000 number just didn't seem right to me. So I hopped over to Google Analytics and set the date to be several years ago, a few months before this post was first published. You can see that I've actually had over 400,000 page views. Then I thought maybe Insights was pulling data since the last time the post was updated. I checked that and it still didn't match. I looked at the analytics for a couple of my clients and I found discrepancies there too. So I would take this number with a grain of salt for now. Google may fix this over time. Now, I did check the information for the past 28 days that we can see in the page overview section and found that it was very close, so I would trust the data for the last 28 days. We then have the How People Found You section, which gives you the same information on the page level that we saw at the site level earlier. And that's the information we can see in Search Console Insights. I encourage you to click on the mortarboard icon and read the tips section to get actionable ideas.